If you've already scalped this season and got a late frost or freeze, I got bad news for you. Your season's over. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. That is far too dramatic, but trust me, I'm sure you'll hear people tell you that if you scalped your Bermuda lawn early in the spring, got a frost or a freeze, that you're donezo. Look, it's going to send it all back into dormancy, and you might as well just throw in the towel for the season because you're never coming back from that one. Look, there are probably two reasons why you've already scalped your lawn this season. One, because it was time to. It was warming up. You looked at your almanac. Almanac said my typical last freeze or frost historically is already behind me, so yeah, I'm going to go ahead and scalp. And then unfortunately, an unusual weather system comes through for this time of year and blasts you with a hard frost or a hard freeze, and bam, all that green that you had coming up just starts browning back up again, and you're left just defeated. That's one reason why you might have scalped already. And number two, perhaps you scalped because you just couldn't resist. Everybody else on YouTube and all across the internet was scalping their Bermuda lawns, and monkey see, monkey do. Hey, they're doing it, so I guess I should too. Hey, I've been there before. You know, that's why I've kind of eliminated all the social media when it comes to lawn care except for YouTube, because I just got tired of watching what other people were doing. And it was filling me with this anxiety or stress of thinking that I had to do it too. And it was taking the focus off what I needed to do in my lawn. So all of it's gone. Instagram, no TikTok, no Twitter, no Facebook. I'm just right here on YouTube with y'all here on Budget Lawns, and I appreciate you being here and joining me. So yeah, maybe you're one of those two reasons. It was time for you to scalp, and maybe you just scalped too early, and then frost or freeze hit, and you're left just feeling defeated like you've made a terrible mistake. Well, I am here to tell you, you have not made a terrible mistake. But for those of us that don't know what I'm talking about when I say scalp your lawn, okay? What I mean by scalping is completely wiping off all the dormant material from our warm season turf, and I'm talking Bermuda here, from the cold winter months. Bermudagrass is a warm season grass. It stays green and thrives in warm temperatures, and when the cold comes, yeah, it takes a nap from late fall to the spring. We do it in the springtime because throughout the winter, we've left that dormant material on there kind of to act like a blanket. That blanket protected the turf from the cold air and the freezes, the ice, the snow, whatever else it might have been hit with throughout the winter season. And it kept it from really letting lots of weed seeds germinate and causing even more of those winter and springtime weeds in your lawn. But we want to get rid of it when springtime rolls around. We start seeing a little bit of green popping up through the brown, or it's past our typical last frost or freeze for the season. We want to lower our lawnmower as low as it will possibly go without hitting dirt. And we're just going to mow the lawn in multiple directions, bagging all the clippings. And then when we're done, we're pretty much back down to soil. All that dormant material's gone. And we allow that soil and the turf to get hit with more sunshine, which will in turn heat it up. And when that soil heats up faster, guess what? The lawn greens up faster, it gets more airflow, it gets more nutrients, more water, all the things a healthy lawn needs to survive. We like to think there's a science to it as far as when to do it. Well, ideally we would do it before the last frost or freeze, but guess what? The one thing we can never control in lawn care is the weather, and sometimes it throws us curveballs that we just didn't see coming and strikes us out. But I'm just here to tell you that if you did already scalp and you got hit with a frost or a freeze, there is nothing, I mean nothing, to worry about. I have been in that boat before. In my area, the typical last frost or freeze is around April 15th. So I'm always watching that long-range forecast leading up to that date. And if it's looking really, really warm, and it has been warm, and it looks like there's no freezing temperatures in sight, I will go ahead and scalp early. We're playing a game here. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. The majority of times that almanac is right, but I have been on the wrong side of it before and scalped in late March or early April, and then come April 15th, right on the date that my last frost or freeze should be, Sure enough, we got a frost. And then again on April 18th of the same year, we got another one. I was covering up plants in the flower bed, taking any precautions I could to protect what I could, but obviously we're not going to go out and throw tarps or blankets all over our lawns. I guess you could, but you might get some laughs from your neighbors, all in your quest to green up before them, and now you're out there looking ridiculous covering your lawn up. Look, it happens. It's happened to me. It will likely happen to you. And guess what happened to my lawn that fall? You ready? Nothing. Nothing. The temperatures warmed back up. It rebounded fine. I was back to normal in no time. So if this does happen to you and you're sitting there asking yourself, what can I do? Have I screwed up? Is everything going to start back over and I'm back to square one? The answer is no. Here's what I would say you do. You just pick back up where you left off. Because one or two things could happen. Yeah, sure, the green that had already come up could get stunted and go back to dormancy, and then everything else will green up faster again because you've already scalped. Or two, nothing will happen at all, and that's what happened to me. My grass did not go back into dormancy. It recovered just fine. The greening continued, and I was into my normal spring into summer lawn care before I even knew it. So if it does happen, don't freak out and think you got to go out and scalp the lawn again. Sure, you can go back out and keep your mower blade as low as it was. This time you're not going to have near the daunting task on your hand because you've already done it. It might take you, one bag, 2 bags, tops, to do it again instead of those bags after bags after bags that you had already done the first time around. So if that makes you feel better, go out, run the mower over it again and get some more material up. If you've already fertilized, just let that be. Maybe throw down just a light layer of fertilizer just to give it a little extra boost to kind of make up some ground that perhaps you lost because of that frost or freeze. But what I don't want you to do is freak out thinking that the season is over, that you've made a terrible mistake, because I can tell you one thing about lawn care. It is all about wins and losses. You're going to have both. I can promise you're not always going to go undefeated. And if you ask me, that is really the fun part. I like the challenges. I love trying to hit the curveballs. And when it's all said and done, fixing things is a whole heck of a lot more fun than maintaining, because if I'm just maintaining something that looks great all the time, it doesn't keep me energized and I get bored. But that's just me. Okay, I don't want to bore you anymore on this video. I hope you liked what you heard. If you're going through this situation, it gives you a little bit of reaffirmation that everything's okay and you're going to be just fine. All right, if you like this, give me a thumbs up, comment below, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one.